What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunched Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Terence Bud Crawford and Errol the Truth Spence. Errol the Truth Spence looked at his stablemate in disgust. You can tell he was disappointed. You can tell that he didn't like what he saw. And he, in fact, after the knockdown, after the stoppage, or the knockdowns and the stoppage, Errol Spence and his small entourage left the arena, okay? I don't think they gave any type of comment whatsoever about it. If they have, I haven't seen it. But he did leave the stadium of the fully packed arena. And, you know, Terence Crawford yelled, like, who's number one? Who's the number one welterweight division now? Crawford asked the question with roars from the 11,000 people that were there, many who cheered loudest for Crawford. It's been the biggest question in the sport for years since Floyd Mayweather retired. The void was filled by two men, Crawford and the undefeated Errol Spence Jr., who previously beat Porter and was in attendance for Crawford's win. Now, I have to add this in. Terence Crawford was like, Errol Spence is here? I thought he wouldn't come into one of my fights. And he did say that. You know, he said, I'm not coming to any of Terence Crawford fights. He said that. You know, but then yet he's there in attendance. This tells you something. If you have a guy that's lured to your fights, your rival should be there witnessing what happened. See, Errol Spence was there to hope for an upset. Okay, he was hoping that Terence Crawford falls to the hands of the tough, rugged, durable Shawn Porter, but that didn't happen. Okay, and because that didn't happen, he's like, oh man, fuck, let me get out of here. Because see, had Shawn Porter won people, let me counterpunch, Errol Spence would have been there in attendance. Errol Spence would have done about 20 fucking interviews on how he's better than everybody else in the division. And Terence Crawford couldn't clearly beat me because Shawn Porter beat him and I beat Shawn Porter. Simple. That would have been the direct actions of Errol Spence right after that. I guarantee it. And he was there to see Terence Crawford fall. He was there to see, you know what? Now we got a PBC. Now we got across the street. Now it's us against them. That's how he's thinking. Why do you think he didn't get a seat up front? He got a seat kind of in the 5th, 6th, 7th row in the back. He wasn't in the far back. He wasn't in a nosebleed seat. But he wasn't up there where people could clearly see him in attendance. That's why when, you know, Terence was like, dude, he's here. Errol Spence is here. I didn't even know he was there until they showed him. Okay, from the teleprompter, from the cameras that he was there. I didn't even know he was there. Now, he said he would be there. I heard he would be there. But I didn't know he was there because, you know, based off what we saw, because nobody was showing him like that. Because it was a back and forth fight. They didn't have time for those, you know, those reactions, those facial reactions that they give fighters or rivals, you know, of fighters. So, yeah, but it showed the silence of Errol Spence. It showed that he couldn't do anything but leave, you know, and it showed that, hey, this guy isn't going anywhere. So if Errol Spence, if he wants to fight Terence Crawford, stop bullshitting, give the fight that everybody wanted to see for the last 3 years, and make it happen, Captain. Okay, because he can't run from everybody. Who's next? Keith Thurman? You know what I mean? Danny Garcia? Like, who's going to be really next? You know, I mean, I would rather see a Keith Thurman fight Terence Crawford than a Danny Garcia because all those guys beat Danny. Every one of them. Including Shawn Porter. So, you know, it just shows you that the truth slaps you in the face at times. That lets you know, like, this is where it's at and this is what you need to do. So the question is, at what point should Errol Spence go to Al Haymon and say, I want that fight moving forward? Because there's nobody else to fight up there. Now, he could fight Ugas if he wanted to. I mean, and that could just, to waste time. And then that would be a good fight, though. I'm not taking anything away from Ugas, but, that's not the premier fight that people want to see. The general masses of people that watch the sport that I love, that I hate so much, want to see Terence Crawford take on Errol the True Spence, the unified champion in the division. Why not? We have to see that fight before one of these guys get their ass beat. You know what I mean? And for the record, if he does decide to fight Ugas, that may be a fight he doesn't want to take. That may be a damn banana peel. Just saying. And a lot of those guys do that over there at the PBC. They avoid the big fights, or they try to wait it out, or they try to do that Floyd Money Mayweather fucking model and wait and wait and wait and fucking wait. And then until they come in there, Jared Swift Hearn, Jermell Charlo, against guys that end up upsetting them. That is what we don't want to see for these particular two guys. Okay? But the reactions was funny. It showed definite disgust and disappointment from Errol the True Spence. You guys tell me what you think about Errol Spence's immediate reaction after the stoppage of Shawn Porter the first time in his career. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.